Hi, everybody. It's Linda G. and our favorite Sunday with our wonderful Sterling.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
good to be
Good
back here in
morning.
the Linda Den.
The Linda Den. Yep,
Yeah.
where all the circus acts take place. With my crazy. My son just left. He was here visiting. I always enjoy when he's around. He's got the same sick humor like I do. But anyway, we were just talking backstage about the Crossfire Hurricane.
Notebook, the missing notebook, Crossfire Hurricane, and
And
the
you were
Russian
saying, I
intelligence.
want him to tell you guys what he picked up.
Yeah, so we were just talking about that, and what I picked up is that earlier this morning I was reading on it is that it's actually at Mar-a-Lago right now. Now a copy's been made of it, so unfortunately that information's out. But there's actually the original copy is still at Mar-a-Lago, and there'll be another search and seizure coming up for it. And it looks to me like there's inside information, like one from the housekeepers or IT people, that they'll point to where it's at. So
Yeah, because Putin was bragging that he has everything.
he does. Yeah. Crazy.
So, okay. So thank you. Because when I asked my guides the other day, I saw a search and seizure, another one taking place. So
we're in agreement.
Okay. So thank you guys for your questions. Thank you for Linda to sorting them through. Thank you for Dan for typing them up.
And thank you to Andrew for doing the timestamps
The
for these shows.
timestamp.
Yep, Andrew.
Okay, for question number 1, will Texas and Florida arrest women who have gotten an abortion?
Yeah, interesting enough, I do see a few arrests, but I see they're going to get tied up in the courts. So like it's an arrest, they get released right away, then it gets tied up in the courts because the laws aren't really clear. So a lot of legal maneuvering going on, but it's not going to go anywhere. So yeah.
There's somebody they did arrest that had an abortion at home. She spontaneously aborted and they put her in jail, of course. This isn't going to work out for them.
No, this is just helping the next election cycle for the Democrats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Lyndon Sterling, several psychic mediums have predicted armed civil wars across the U.S. over guilty verdicts in the 45 trials next year. What is causing this fear-mongering among these psychic mediums? There's a very famous psychic medium who says in February, we're going into World War III. I was like, what?
No.
I don't see that at all.
Not at all. No, not at all. Yeah. But you're going to see a lot of pockets of unrest. That's very true. So
yeah, we always said that.
Yeah, I think this question about will a civil war break out because of the ending results of all the 45 court cases? No, I don't see it. Yeah, there'll be riots, that kind of a thing, but they're going to be somewhat contained in certain city centers. Yeah.
Okay, and I also feel, I mean, look, he wants people to riot right now because he's going to court. Nobody shows up.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he'll probably get maybe 5% of the people he would normally get because now they realize you get arrested and there's no one to back them up. So yeah.
He doesn't.
Right.
Can you please look at Comer's future for 2024? Will he be reelected in 2024? I don't know what state he's from.
James Comer. Yeah, I don't recall what state he's from, but he's been leading a lot of the investigations, right? And I think he was behind also, the latest charges. I don't see him getting reelected. And by the way, what I do see for his future is he's going to get thrown under the bus. So while he was out in front trying to lead all the MAGA charges, right? I see that he's going to be used as a scapegoat. So a lot of people are going to say it was all his fault. It was his idea.
Yes, that makes total sense.
He'll be the poster boy, unfortunately, for what goes around comes around, but they're going to use him as a scapegoat is what I see. I don't see him getting reelected. No.
And they have him on tape telling Hunter Biden, you can do a testimony in the public or you can do behind whatever, as long as you come in. And then he turned around and went the opposite way.
Right.
Nikki Haley won a lot of support in the GOP. Given we know that 45 will be the GOP nominee, what will Haley do next?
What I see down the road for her is trying to run for president again, like in 2028. I see her trying to come back around again, what I do see. So that means a lot of strategy after the election, trying to figure out how to drum up a base of support or something. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. If there's so much that can change at a moment's notice politically, then my question is, how can anybody give accurate readings on politics?
Well, everything in the universe, in some respects, get tied to the akashic records. So it's not about feeling or what's going on at the moment. It's the akashic records are an imprint of everything past, present, future in the universe. So that's really where that information comes from.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't turn on a
It's
dime
not just
with a
political,
pole.
it's the world. Things
It's
change.
everything in the entire universe. Yeah, which is interesting. Everything. Yeah.
And we never said we were accurate,
Well, I
right?
mean,
We go
the
by what
akashic
we see
records.
and hear.
Yeah, well, the akashic records are accurate.
Yeah.
But everybody's human. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes our interpretation can be different.
Mhm.
How will the Supreme Court rule on the question of presidential immunity for Trump on January 6th event? Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, I get they're going to allow, they're not going to give him immunity. So they're going
Yeah.
to say he's not immune from it. But it's interesting. I think that a lot of the justices would have liked to say he's immune, but now they're feeling so much political wrath
Pressure.
of saying now we're really in bad shape in terms of the way the public views us. They're being very careful. So I think that they would, yeah, they're actually not going to say he's immune. They're going to allow the cases to go forward. Yeah.
Well, will Thomas be still in it, even though his wife was part of this?
It's funny. I think he's going to recuse himself.
Oh, wow. I didn't get that, but that's good. You heard it here,
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? The thing is, like I've told everybody, and you know this too, it's a double-edged sword. You say a president's immune, then Biden can just turn around and do anything he wants.
Exactly. Yeah.
How would the latest ruling of the New York gerrymandering affect future elections in the state, and hence the makeup of our federal legislative and executive governments come election time? Will many more gerrymandering states being following in the steps of New York? I don't know what that sentence means. Will many more other gerrymandering states following, or will maybe follow in the steps?
Yeah. I think the interpretation there, what I get from my team is that we're going to see a much more balanced districting in New York. So that the effect is that Democrats and Republicans will have a much better balanced allocation around New York. Won't be any more George Santos elected either. They're going to really be careful of all that. So actually, look, we're not political, but that also helped the Democratic cause because they won't go down that road again, New York, with what happened with George Santos. So they're still bleeding from that.
Right.
And it looks like other states, I am seeing other states redistricting and doing a better job at kind of getting a better balance between
Good.
both parties. So it does look like they'll start to follow New York's lead.
Okay, good. Will AI be used in engineering successful free energy generation prototypes in 2024? Also known as zero-point energy generation devices. These over unity energy generation devices use electromagnetics to generate orders of magnitude more energy than is required to power them. I have no idea what this said.
Yeah, well, there's like 3 or 4 different concepts mixed in that question. So artificial intelligence, let's put that aside for a second. That's a tool. I think a lot of people, why they ask these questions, maybe where this question came from, everybody wants free energy. And they think the concept is free energy. Your house gets plugged in and it's no cost energy. So a lot of things are coming from extraterrestrial technology right now. They're being developed. Free energy has a lot to do with the energy get created for what they call quantum mechanics at the atom level. When you get to what's called absolute zero temperature, minus 460 degrees Fahrenheit. I won't get too technical, but there are concepts around free energy when you get to absolute zero temperature, which theoretically is almost impossible right now. You can do it in space in a vacuum, but there's also new types of free energy coming from extraterrestrials within about a decade. So that technology doesn't exist right now on Earth. So the last point I'll make about this, a lot of confusion out there. There's a few charlatans out there that are saying they have free energy machines, free energy devices. Everybody be very careful, especially around if you're thinking about making investments, that kind of a thing. The true free energy is about a decade away with extraterrestrial technology.
Wow. Oh, what do we need to do, or what has to happen to make possible the release of a raft of advanced technologies that are hundreds of years beyond anything out in public yet, sequestered in a special access project of large corporations and military contractors.
Yeah, that speaks to the fact that over really decades and decades, a lot of extraterrestrial technology has been secretly offloaded to major government contractors. I won't name them, the large government contractors, and they've actually reverse engineered anti-gravity propulsion systems and ships. A lot of people have seen. Here's, I guess, the answer to that question is it's going to take a lot of government legislation over the next number of years here to try to get that technology then released to the public out of the hands of government contractors. So there's a process going forward. I think there's legislation being reviewed right now, but we have many years to go before it'll successfully be put out into the public domain. But a lot of technology of anti-gravity propulsion is being harnessed by major government contractors. Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy Carter was said to have experienced UAP sightings. Did he? If so, did they continue to communicate with him throughout his life?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was one of a handpicked selected number of presidents that they really trusted. So they actually tried to help him around world peace and new science. And they actually communicated with him for many years after he left the White House. He did. Yeah.
That's great. And he knew that people would make fun of him for that years ago, but he still said, "No, I saw it."
Right.
What will the outcome be for Hunter Biden and President Biden in relationship to the impeachment inquiry?
A lot of nothing.
Nothing burger.
Yeah, a lot of nothing.
That's what I saw.
This is a circus act, is what this is. Yeah. Well,
they definitely did that and then left without any kind of budget plan for Ukraine. And
I think there's a new tagline going on social media, but it's like hashtag the do nothing Republican Congress.
Yeah.
Because they really haven't done much, right? Yeah.
So I don't know if this question's in here. I'll pass it if it is, but I would like to know. The Senate is coming back next week to work on a budget to help finance Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, to distribute money, to, pay raises for the military, etc. I see that going through the Senate, but doesn't it have to go back into the House and they also have to vote?
Yeah, my understanding is that's correct. I agree with you on that, and I also agree that it's going to get passed.
Okay,
because a
few of the other it won't get passed by the maggots, but the other people will.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna parse it up a little bit. So I see them, like right now, I think they're trying to put 3 different or 4 different levels of funding through. And I think there was even some border funding they're trying to get through on that too.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. Yeah.
And so I think they're going to parse up some of that and maybe remove the border funding, just try to get, the Ukraine funding through and the funding for Israel and supporting of peace in the Middle East. So yeah, look, I think my team's saying they're going to get it through, but they're going to parse it up a little bit.
But because part of the thing for them with the House was without border funding, we're not going to approve anything.
Right.
Oh, good. They put that in there. Okay, what will the outcome be for Hunter Biden? Okay, we just did that. What is prompting the major UFO ET related appearances over the next year? What is the cause and purpose of these appearances?
It's a gradual introduction as part of the Earth plan, a gradual introduction of extraterrestrials. You can look now across all sorts of media, social media, government reports, the frequency of sightings and interactions, and also the release of information, what a lot of governments have done even since like the 40s. This is all preparing humanity for the introduction.
Cool.
Yeah.
If it's true, is it true if you wake up to 3 to 5 a.m., it's a powerful time to pray and meditate? They say it's the darkest before dawn, so light workers are awake for light work combating the darker forces.
Actually, doesn't have anything to do with dark energy or dark forces, but I'll just say the universe is open 24/7. So, there's no direct relationship there. Say, so when you pray, some people feel calmer at those hours, and that's fine.
And
But the
then the other
universe,
half of the world is awake. Yeah.
right? So, and there's nothing, no relation to darker forces there, whatever that meant in that question. Yeah,
Will melting permafrost in Alaska affect the pipeline?
100%. Yeah,
Wow.
100%. And it looks like what I'm getting is that within a year here, probably in the next year, there's going to be massive efforts to try to shore up the pipeline, because as the permafrost melts, it actually compromises the structural integrity of the pipe. So
Wow.
the pipe is being supported by permafrost. As it melts, the support goes away. So I get is like a massive effort in 2024
Save
at
it.
even using what I'm going to call inflatable technology. So almost like massive airbags to try to bolster up the pipeline, because the foundation is going to be going away. So I just got that kind of massive airbag type
Dang.
technology. Yeah,
I wonder if they'll have any breaks or something.
a few.
Well, okay. Will Biden get the $200 Social Security increase he promised? I don't remember that. Do
Well,
you?
actually, many people have already gotten it. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting, and it's actually based on what your income was for years, right? So
Yeah.
not everybody got a $200 increase, but a lot of it's already come through.
And the cost of living increase goes through January 1st. So,
Yeah, so I think whoever asked the question might be mistaken, maybe based on the income they earned for years or something.
yeah.
They weren't entitled or something. Yeah.
Love, joy, and gratitude to both of you. Anti-Semitism has been with us for millennia. Do either of you see an end to it? My Jewish friends and colleagues here in New York City are scared. They have had some highly ugly encounters. It's just so sad.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. You know, the good news or the bad news is we got about another decade to go here before it starts to calm down. But it's going to calm down because the Middle East is going to start to calm down, right? There will eventually be a two-state solution. A lot of the things that are causing grief around the world, it's going to start to calm down. But
Okay.
it's about a decade. I don't know what you get on that, but it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, I don't feel overnight, but it's just really tough. It's just really,
Yeah.
really tough. I
Mhm.
don't understand it because I've never felt it or seen it, but now I see it. Hi, Linda and Sterling. Thank you for your show. I love it. Will Rochester, New York get any significant snowstorms? We average 40 to 7 inches annually, but the last few years we have been very disappointed.
Yeah, but I see big storms coming up.
That's what I,
And a part, it looks like it's more the end of next year is like a
okay.
sizable storm.
Next winter.
Yeah, next winter, and almost like 40 inches. So it's almost
Wow.
another near record. So whatever's happening with the jet streams and whatnot, looks like it's really going to affect Rochester again. Yeah.
Wow. I have a question on interface technology. Will there be humans who can be connected to AI? The physicist Michio Kaku says, for example, that we will not need a physical computer because our brain will be connected to it by electromagnetic waves. Will this be true?
Again, mixing a lot of concepts in those questions. So computers will always be around. Supercomputers will always be around. Yes, there will be human biotechnology interfaces for people. And it will actually get to the point here in a couple of decades where it's like telepathic control of computers. A lot of ETs control ships telepathically. They don't touch anything. So yeah, interfaces for humans, that's all part of the evolution. It is. But computers will always be around. I know there's a lot of fear in that area. Many people have a lot of fear. They say, I don't want to be connected to a computer. But it'll be nothing more than like those electrodes that they put on like at the hospital when they're monitoring blood pressure. Nothing invasive, but it'll be a sensor that'll pick up your brain waves, your thoughts, your control devices. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Will those in Congress, 2 houses who helped plan, aided, and abetted the attempted coup pay for their crimes?
People ask that question all the time. Yeah, it's coming. It's a dump truck full of
And
individuals that are
Jack
going to
Smith is
be.
just waiting.
Yeah, but you can't get everybody through the supermarket in one pass.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
a long line, and it's the biggest cases are the most influential. You see the 45 cases and Giuliani and a lot of those things. And as those cases go through the system, then you get a lot of the other cases. Yeah.
Jack Smith has a cell/burner phones from J6 insurrectionists. Will Trump, Jim Jordan, and other Congress be implicated?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. You know, it's interesting. I think 6 months or 10 months ago, I had read on, the cell phones, and my team said, yeah, the cell phones will all be made available, and a lot of information from it. And then it came out a couple of weeks later after that event that all the cell phones were burners. They were all gone. And I said, hang tight. They're going to find them. And they were given up in secret. So somebody had them. And so they were passed across. That's how it got back into the government. Yeah.
I wonder if that was Mark Meadows.
No, I don't think he was directly involved, but somebody had the burner phones. So.
Okay. What will be the outcome of the Supreme Court mifepristone abortion bill?
I get the Supreme Court's going to try to pass that off, meaning they're actually going to push it back down to the states, or give some sort of a ruling that looks like it's effective. I don't see a ban. I don't see a ban.
Oh, okay, because the states said ban it.
Yeah, because I do see but I see the states individually trying to address that, almost the way they're doing abortion, right? The overall abortion.
So some people can get it, some can't.
I do see state by state, there'll be certain states, California, whatnot, probably New York, you'll still be able to get it. Florida, no. Texas, no. Yeah. So.
Oh, damn it. Can you explain how prayer works?
Yeah, it's collective, powerful intention out to the universe. It's like a telegram out to the universe, and it actually signals a lot of angels, guides, archangels. So it's like a massive electronic telegram to the universe. So various entities will answer it. Ascended masters, angels, depending who you're trying to connect with. But the intention behind the prayer is as important as the prayer.
Right, exactly.
So it's interesting. Intention is so connected to prayer. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, go in with a clear mind. You can't be too emotional about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see anything coming up this week?
Yeah, we were just talking about those burner cell phones. What I see is that we're going to learn about more threats to democracy when the cell phone burner technology comes out, the information. So you're going to see about more back-end coordination with those through the cell phones about other threats to democracy that people didn't even realize. So other back-end strategy that's coming out. Big storms also on the East Coast are coming here.
Just now starting again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see great progress coming here for a ceasefire, a temporary ceasefire in the Middle East, but it's Qatar that's going to be in the middle of it again. But then I also see money exchanging hands. So, it's not always a pretty thing when you have to pass money in the back end to try to make ceasefires happen. But I see Qatar passing money behind the scenes to try to make things happen. Yeah.
Will they release any more hostages?
I do. I see more. I do not believe it's going to be the holiday week. It's going to be we'll be right on the cusp of it here. But looks like during this week, a lot of the negotiations will happen. You may not hear about in public, but then you're going to hear about the result. So looks like a lot of
even Biden said he's not happy with what Israel's doing. What
Netanyahu, yeah, exactly.
He's very upset about that.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Do you have anything your guides want to share?
Yeah, simply this week, share your spiritual gifts and don't try to lay them off on people that say don't understand spirituality, because like religion is not spirituality. Don't ever get that mixed up. Right. So I think a lot of people get twisted up in those arguments between religion and spirituality, and that includes your family members. So, share your spiritual gifts, but, you can't change everybody if they're so completely disconnected just in religion.
Did you do your 2024 predictions yet?
No, I usually do those in January, like the beginning of January. Yeah, because then I go through and I do an assessment of all the ones from January of the prior year, like what came through, that kind of a thing, a whole analysis. And I think there were 20 or 25 predictions last January of this year. Yeah.
So you and I are going to pass Christmas. The next time we meet is, I think, the first week, or I don't know.
I think a New Year's Eve. A New Year's Eve, I think, is the next date that we have. New Year's Eve. Yeah,
that's exactly. A great time. So, what's your message, your Christmas message to everyone?
everybody keep yourself centered in world peace and manifest peace for the world. Everybody has as a job to play, and actually the energy you put out to the universe, all of us collectively can move mountains. So
Oh, and you're never alone. And those of you who think you're on your own, you're not. From my family to everyone, we wish you a very Merry Christmas or whatever
absolutely, yeah.
Hanukkah.
Happy holidays to everybody. Whatever you're
Holidays.
celebrating, have a safe time, and yeah, know that you're never alone, that you can always stand in love no matter where you are in the world. Yeah.
My sister I ordered her a nice ham and stuff for Thanksgiving. So this is my turn to cook here. So everybody's like, what are we having? I'm like, meatloaf and boxed potatoes. Actually,
Love
we're
it.
having prime rib. So, okay, you guys, thank
Wonderful.
you so much for coming. Thank
Absolutely.
you, Sterling. Thank you to Linda. Thank you to Daniel
And to Andrew.
and
Andrew.
Andrew.
Absolutely.
God
All the
bless.
best.
Cheers.